Hi guys, Richard here, trying to look extra chill. Do I look extra chill? Feel like it. Anyway, I love the Peavey trans tube series, the 90s model silver stripe. That's my favorite. I have been chasing a particular amp from that series for a long time. A lot of this channel, if you haven't noticed, is kind of about my personal gear quest. But that's what this is. This is the Peavey Revolution trans tube. It's three channel amp, and you can run this with the foot switch from the special 212 trans tube amp, which I already have, so I thought that was cool. Now, these are so hard to find. I don't know that this was the amp with the smallest production in the series, but I kind of feel like it was. But I love these trans tubes so much that my Studio Pro 112, one of my earlier bands, I recorded the whole album with that amp. You know, you don't always have to have a tube amp to have great sounds. And Hartley Peavey really did his homework when he came up with the trans tube technology. And I actually have a plan to do a video just talking about the history of that, because it's incredibly interesting to me, and it would explain just why Peavey is a cut above when it comes to solid state tube emulation sounds. Now, I got this amp from Goodwill for right around 120 bucks shipped. That is so incredibly cheap. Anywhere else I've seen these guys are over 300 bucks with good reason. But of course, getting it from Goodwill, it's going to have problems. I knew it probably wouldn't be working when I got it, because in the picture I could see that the low gain input jack was completely missing. So I've ordered 2 input jacks that are Peavey brand, Peavey spec. They're meant to go in this type of amp. I'm going to try to put them in because I've already taken the amp out of the casing here, out of the cabinet, and I did notice that the low input and high input, low input's missing, the high input's broken. The post gain is also broken off, so I'll be replacing that down the road. I need to take that pot out to figure out what kind it is first. But it's going to take me a minute to get this whole thing disassembled, because all these knobs have to come off, all the nuts off of these things have to come off. But once we do that, we're going to go ahead and solder in our new jacks, and hopefully that makes it work, because right now it doesn't make any noise. I haven't tried sending anything into the effects return. I should have done that. But first, we're going to go ahead and try to put our new input jacks in. So let me take this apart, we'll get it set up, and we'll get to work. Okay, so our input jacks are clearly both completely broken. Alright, so zoomed in, I don't know if you can see this. This is the remaining input jack for the high input. And you can probably tell there's no solder holding that anymore. It's just flopping about. So we need to get rid of that. I got 2 more input jacks. Kind of worries me is they're metal. So I think I'll put some electrical tape around, because these are plastic, and a lot of times when they put plastic input jacks on something like this, it's not only because they're cheaper, trying to be cheap, it's because they don't want that particular part grounding to the chassis. In this case, I have these, which have metal barrels, so they would be grounding to the chassis. Let's see if we can get this guy out and get these other ones put in. Also, make sure you drain your caps if you're doing something like this, your capacitors, so that you don't kill yourself. And honestly, if you aren't 100% confident in what you're doing, do not crack your amp open. Even these solid state amps carry enough voltage to be deadly, so be very careful. I am not an amp expert, but I'm confident in simple electronics, and I'm actually fairly confident that if we get these guys replaced, this will work. The amp will work, because the maybe that one came out quick. The copper tracers are in really good shape. Those may be silver tracers, I'm not sure. So unless there's something else fundamentally wrong with this amp, and we will check where that broken pot was. We'll take a look at that too. Unless there's something fundamentally wrong with it, it should work. So here's the offending article right here. Here's the new one, which does not match up. So that's fun. So I guess I've got to do some modifying. Hooray. Alright, if you hear some noise in the background, that's because the kitties decided it was a great time to have a Royal Rumble. So that's what they're doing. Here's my janky ass fix. I had some silver flat wire lying around. So that's actually silver for a better connection. I'm going to see if this will fit, and in the future I think I will try to order some better ones that are... These said they were the Peavey spec for this amp, but they are clearly not. But for the sake of the video and for the sake of the fact that I really want to try this amp out, we're going to give this a shot. So let me see if I can get this mounted in place. Okay, it looks like we got everything fitting, so I'll see if we can solder this down. And if this works, we'll do another one. Doesn't go much smoother than that. That one directly attached to the tracers, that's pretty good. So hopefully we're going to go build one more of these janky little input jacks and we'll see if it works. I think I may have to go play referee and tap one of these kitties out. Okay, I've got my second of the two Janky Jack 3000s in place. Let's hope they do the job. I'm not 100% confident, but stranger things have happened. Looks like everything is good and intact, so I'm going to get this put back together now. Got everything back together. I only could find one nut that was the right size to fit those jacks I got. They're a little bit bigger than normal jacks, so I put it on there, and then I just capped off the low gain with a big lock nut so that I know not to use it until I get the right connector there. Yeah, so I haven't tested this yet. Let's turn it on and see if we get anything from our janky kind of ghetto fix. I'm pretty excited, but also, you know, I fear that we messed it up worse. So let's see. Oh. Wow, okay, that's probably overdriving. Let me turn the volume on the camera down. Hold on. Okay, camera volume's turned down, so you probably won't be able to hear me, but I'm going to test the reverb, and then we're going to try the distortion channel. I'm so excited right now. Okay, so the reverb sounds like it's just barely there. We may need a new tank on that one. I crank it all the way up. Reverb. We just need to clean it. Alright, let's turn that down. Okay, let's try the let's try our gain channel. Alright guys, I am so very excited that this amp works now, and that we didn't mess anything up with our tinkering. I've been after a Peavey Revolution for so long. Oh man, I almost got to the point I never thought I'd have one, because they're hard to find. You know, the silver stripe version. I've seen the Revolution 112-2 more often than this, so I am so happy right now. Yeah, this video is probably running kind of long, but I really appreciate you watching, and look forward, if you like Peavey stuff, sorry there's a hair on the microphone, look forward to some more Peavey history, like trans tube stuff, coming up here in a little while, because I've actually read a couple books recently about Hartley Peavey and everything that he did and overcame to become one of the leading amp manufacturers in the world, really. So very cool. Oh man, I can't describe how happy I am right now with this amp. I can't even access all the features without hooking up the foot switch, so we haven't even begun to play with it. But yeah, I'm excited. I hope you're excited. Thank you for watching. I'll see you next time.